Yo, what's up, folks? It is just me, Najee, here tonight. Man, look, there's so much power craziness. I was tasked with being able to jump on the live tonight to get involved with everything that's going on. Hopefully, by now, you have had a chance to check out both of the reviews coming from the Big Gold Belt Media channel from the finale, the crazy finale of season 2 of Ghost, and then the premiere of Force. It's been so much power content going on right now. I don't even know where to start. Lucas, I bet you're running. Where's Lucas at, folks? Lucas is on the beach sipping Mai Tais. And I wish I was in the same spot as him, because man, is it cold up in my area. But so Lucas ain't going to be on the live. But, I just talked to him, and I told him don't come back in terms of like location-wise. Maybe he needs to set up a little camp out there so we can keep knocking out these reviews. But like, enjoy that time, good brother, young king. But that didn't mean I came alone. So I did bring my homie, because he was like, we should talk some power stuff. Sure, why the hell not? We got so much power craziness going on. I said, I know the fans, you all lovely folks, would love to kind of recap this crazy season 2 of Power Book 2 Ghost. And we'll talk a little bit of Force, but we're not going to give too much. We're just going to get on here to kind of hash things out, talk a little bit about predictions going forward. Obviously, talk to you all, whoever's available on the live tonight. At this point now, everybody should have watched it, whether you watched it on the Stars app or whether you watched it on Stars proper, since it is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means you got Power Book 2 Ghost finale at 8 to 9, and then you got Force making its premiere from 9 to 10. And then Tommy and Tariq, Joseph and Michael, they did their live on Instagram at 7:30. So you just, like I said, so much. And I will say you just a little bit of a secret that there may be some more interviews coming this week. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, I'm done talking alone. I think it's about time I bring in my good brother, my good man, finally making his appearance on the channel for tonight. It is an honor to bring in my boy, Clep Napier. Dude, you introduce yourself. I'll stop talking.
What's up, man? Yo, I'm happy to be here, man. Clep CX. You find me on YouTube. You can find me on wearecritics.com, my company that I own. We talk movies and television, pop culture, fandom, whatever it is. That's what we all about. So, I seen you doing the power thing, man, and I'm a huge power fan. So I had to be a part of this conversation. The finale was wild, bro. Like wild. Like
yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta talk about. We gotta break this down. We gotta talk about it.
That's right. Let me show a little bit of love, man. You're right. The episodes, you're right, with an S was fire.
Yeah.
Was fire.
Yeah.
Sierra Mosley, what's up? How's it going tonight? Let me know your thoughts about the episode. Don't just come in here and say hi. Come in here punching and swinging. What you thought about tonight's episode? Listen, man. We will talk obviously about the finale, but let's talk about the season in general. And we're going to start off very, very easily. What did you think? Season 2, after season 1, which I thought was good, and I know a lot of people were still kind of hung up on the idea that Ghost, Omari Hardwick, isn't there, and a lot of the people looking for the dualities between the original cast and this now newer, younger cast, or continuing members, but the main focal point with Tariq and Braden and all of them. And why I thought season 1 was crazy. I think there was a little bit of a reserve. I vividly remember folks saying, I'm done after episode 2, and I'm just like, you're crazy. What? I mean, but you look, if you know anything about the Power universe, people love to hate it. People be all the way to episode 9, talk about they hate it, they don't like it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And here they back season 2 with the same old antics and whatnot. But overall, just assessing the season 2 in whole. How did you feel about it, man?
I loved season 2 a lot more than 1, but I still like 1. And the reason I love 1 so much, and the reason I like the whole spinoff period, is because they're allowing us to grow with Tariq. Like, they're not just giving you, like, he's not just jumping into the game and understanding and knowing exactly what to do. Yeah, he's smart in some areas, but he's very, very naive and dumb in a lot of other areas where, trust is he's too trusting in most parts. So that's the one part that I cling on that keeps me watching, because I love the evolution of his character. Like he's got his dad's smarts, but he's not that smart yet. But season 2 definitely shows you where the growth is going. And that's what I appreciate about the journey. Like, maybe people didn't connect with the first one because they just were expecting to see the same thing, or thought they were going to see the same thing, and they didn't. But he's very, very naive in season 1. So I appreciate the growth and the change in season 2 a lot. So both of them together just really tie it all together very well for me.
Yeah, definitely. And anybody listening, definitely jump in the comments. Let me know your overall thoughts about season 2. Like, I want to know, how did you all feel that it's all said and done right now? We already know season 3 is on the way. So that's good things. Season 2 has done fantastic numbers. They have been number 1 in the whole battle of who is going to be 50 Cent's golden child and reign supreme at the top. But I say for me, I do like the whole idea that this season 2 definitely I feel like season 1 was the idea of saying this is different. These are your characters that you've grown to appreciate, but this is different. And I just liked how season 2 just doubled down on everything. The drama, I thought the writing was fantastic. I thought that, like, the continuity between the original Power series and season 1 to some of these characters and how it makes sense. Like, for instance, like, I'm a huge Shane Johnson fan, and Sax, how, like, you see this will to always want to get Tariq no matter what, because from the first original series that he's obsessed with getting his guy. He's obsessed with getting the St. Patrick, and, like, it's that, like, those type of callbacks and those type of connections I really appreciate. And then ultimately, I like the idea of, like, how I guess the fans never gave Tariq a chance, and then ultimately you just start to, like, really rally behind him, or you start to be like, you know what, I want to see him win. Because before, everybody was like, yo, throw him off the building, cancel Christmas, and then get this dude a chance at all. But, like, I do appreciate that. And I also will say that I do appreciate that some of these characters like Effie and Brayden, who we didn't feel like was going to have much, are now some of the most pivotal characters. And I can't tell you enough how much I fuck with Brayden. Day one, A1. My man went up there. And it's funny because he definitely, Gianni definitely trolled on his Instagram by posting that picture of somebody calling him a snitch. He posted it because he knew what was going to happen. He went up there proper A1 day 1 for his boys. So I love the camaraderie between the two, man.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I didn't know what to expect from Brayden. I didn't know what he was gonna do, because he didn't have to do what he did. But I like that, that was like a way for him to, like, kind of throw something in Tariq's face, like, listen, like, I'm riding. I'm here, I'm riding. So you got, and the one thing I hate about Tariq is he's so much like his dad, bro. Like, that whole I'll let you know what you need to know when you need to know it. I hate that mentality. That shit pisses me off. Like, every time I see them do that, it's like, yo, y'all all running around keeping secrets from one another when y'all all in this for the same thing. Yeah. And that drives me crazy, man. But yeah, I'm glad Brayden's shining, and we get to see how real he is in this. Yeah. And Effie disappointed me, though. She's straight. She's wild. She's wild.
Why?
And I liked her. I liked her over Lauren, but she's just being real shady. Like, I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
Listen, of the three of them, I gotta say that I was pro Diana the entire way. I've always liked.
I can't stand Diana.
But at the end of the day, I think we all should just tend to realize that they are young women, regardless of their age and their personalities in real life. They're young women. So, like, all of them are going to show flaws in terms of immaturity. Lauren was definitely green, very sheltered, but proficient in book smart. I thought she might have been a passionate lover, but she made early mistakes, like not giving Tariq some of the early information that he should have known and whatnot. Yeah. So that's that. And then Effie, street smart, is book smart, maybe a little bit rough around the edges in terms of loving and companionship, but like she's loyal. I mean, not only, and I think this is the tone, this is the undertone that nobody's talking about. Not only is she loyal to Tariq, but she's also loyal to Brayden, because her cleaning up the Lauren situation, and which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
It covered for Brayden, because essentially Brayden gets to go back and say he did what he was supposed to do. If he didn't, that's a huge liability between the two of them. Like, bro, you already know I'm in this mess with the family stuff, and then you go ahead and do that and leave that on the table. Like, you got my girl out here, or ex-girl, whatever it is, out in limbo, and I got to worry about that now. You couldn't do me this. All you had to do was do that. So that's that. So like, and I think that Effie was one of those, and I think all of us have dealt with this, those really guarded folks. And then when you get the wall down, it's like they just going through the swirl of, I don't know, the unknown. And that's where we start to see these emotions from Effie that we haven't seen, where she's just sitting there like, yo, I think I love this dude, but I don't even know what this feeling means. Like that when she got in the bed next to him and she just kind of was off to the side. I mean, I think that was the clearest definition of like being in love, where she just was like, I don't know where I'm at right now. Like, I did something crazy and I don't know what repercussions that may have, but I did it for this guy that's next to him, and I hope he realizes that.
if I had a big red flag, I'd throw that shit up right now, bro. She is crazy, bro.
and then Diana, man, she's sheltered too. She's just I think she's just curious. She thinks she knows what she wants, but she doesn't.
She's so annoying, man. Like her Poppy got out, and all of a sudden she just turned to straight like daddy's girl. Like, wait a minute, you was trying to be like a boss in the beginning, and now all of a sudden daddy's home, and now she don't know how to act, man. She just running around telling on everybody, pointing fingers, telling on everybody. Like, yeah, I can't deal with her.
Immaturity, man. She's trying to stay loyal to her family. She's caught in this tug of war battle between and again, like, you know, the fact that both of the parents at some point was lying, and she's just caught in the crosshair of it. I mean, that's why the decisions she makes look so blatantly bad, because how did she actually come up with the truth when both your parents are lying? You don't know what to do when you don't know what side to be on. And hey, she's definitely not on Monet's side after she put her in that death chokehold and was like, yeah, get out, little girl. So
she's like trying to control, you know, the situation and trying to.
I love Diana.
Trying to keep the family together, but she's just going about it all wrong. I feel like the whole Tejada family is like, wow, and I don't know, man. Like that dynamic, they're so dangerous for each other, they don't even realize it. But
yeah, I do, and this is another part that I liked about the writing, is how drastically all the kids are different. And this is not a given, because I've definitely seen shows, especially shows that are just like teenage based, where it's like 5 teenagers and like 3 of them are all the same. And it's just like, what? Like, what's so hard to just make these distinct different people, so that in this show, in this universe, we're all looking, you know, for the next secret, the next clue, the next connection. But we also like are very like high sprung on who these characters are. And like, you know, that's why we always got this whole like, this person's gonna be the next Angela, the next Tasha, et cetera, is because like we look for those comparisons. But ain't nobody saying Drew is Kane and Kane is Diana. Like, it's everybody's different, and that's what I like about it.
Well, I kind of feel like Effie is the Tasha. I always said that from the beginning, because she's so ride or die. Like, she is ride or die for Tariq, but she's a loose cannon, bro. I feel like there's a fire in her that we haven't seen yet. That's gonna like shock us.
I think she's willing to
do whatever.
Be emotion, though. I think it's gonna be something emotion. I don't think it's gonna be like some. I mean, the most sporadic thing she did now is either kill Lauren, get Lauren killed, or actually get Lauren to safety. And all of those are very drastic solutions here, because why didn't you just let Brayden do it if you wanted to get her to safety? Because you knew Brayden could do it.
Yeah, she did. It's like what you said.
See, so that's a drastic move, though. You know,
that brings me to another theory that I have with this whole finale episode. I don't know if you want to go there yet. I don't know if you want to
about it. That's your key. That's your key line.
So I think there's some people that aren't dead. I think there's a couple people that aren't dead.
Okay.
I think I think that I think there's a bait and switch about to happen as far as Zeke. I think that what's the officer's name? I never remember his name. That Carrie's ex.
Whitman, Kevin
I
Whitman.
think I think that he knows there's more to the story, and that he possibly could be having Zeke play possum to get to the bottom of things.
Yeah.
So I
What's
don't
up,
think that
Danny?
he
Want to
may.
make sure I say what's up?
What up, Danny? Man, I don't think I think one of the two or both may not be actually dead. That's just what my theory. I don't think that Zeke is gone. I
Let's
really don't.
let's let's talk about this real quick. First of all,
Okay.
Boston girl, they treat Tariq like he's a minimum wage worker and he's the only one getting it done. No comment. The wandering sage, Effie, is the girl you keep close in a good way. You got to be deep and heavy person to really understand her. Straight Scorpio. That is spot
Yo,
on right there.
yo, word up, word up.
Jeez. Look, I see pros and cons in all of them, but also there's pros and cons in Tariq because Tariq is so emotionally unavailable. He's dismissive and he's constantly on the run, which means half of his life is completely shady. And imagine being that person and then trying to be, exactly.
He's just
Exactly.
He's
That's
exactly
why I
like
said to compare. That's exactly what I compare it to. All right, so let's talk about it again. At this point, folks, you all have seen all of the season, but we're going to talk a little bit about the finale tonight, and let's talk about the big stuff before we talk about the deaths, because I know that's the big thing. The other thing we should talk about is Tasha.
Oh, that was dope. I was so happy for that. I was happy for that.
Excuse me, Vanessa Edwards is her.
Yeah, right.
and yeah, you know the big question of like, Olivia. Excuse me, Olivia. Tasha, and I see a lot of people saying that Tasha is in a close proximity to Chicago, where Tommy is at. I know people thinking forward about the connection, stuff like that.
Damn.
Look, people on it. The Power Universe, folks are on it. She's in Indiana, so they're like, they're on it. Here's my thing with it. It's happy to see Tasha back on the show because she's on Queens. She's doing good. I also should mention that somebody's been telling me that I need to mention that G-Ma is on Our Kind of People, so that's why she may not be appearing at that time. My thing here is that with Tasha and Yaz being together, there's still more story to be told, and I'm happy with that. I don't know where it comes into play, but I'm happy those characters are still existing because Tasha being here was a huge deal to me because she could have easily been contractual obligated to Queens, and we could have not seen her this entire thing, and she could have just been one of those, text messages and whatnot. But she's there with Yaz.
I love that. Yeah.
And G-Ma still exists because she's gonna say, where's Yaz? That's who she is. She's trying to get custody back again too at some point after she finished rehabilitation. And then Tariq knows where they're at, so that's good. All of them knows where they're at. Not to mention one other thing. Yaz was given a phone put into that teddy bear that if you just wasn't paying attention, the police officer made it his point to say, here's your teddy bear. So there will be connections and talk going forward. And I'm just happy for that alone, that Tasha will at some point return. And I know we want the big square off, the big duel, the big showdown. Tasha and Monet, round 2. We need it. We need it. Excuse me, Olivia. Excuse me. Who's the Tasha person?
No, I thought that was very necessary too. I really enjoy her coming in and it was a surprise because it was one thing that I kind of forgot because we haven't seen her for so long. And then when they did show, I was like, yes, I'm like cheering because she's like the one thing that connects this whole thing, the old thing. You know what I mean? So having her in there was really dope, and I love the fact that Yaz's story got wrapped up. Olivia got wrapped up, and she got back with her mother because that kind of gives us closure about those characters. Because honestly, we don't have to see them for a while because we know where they are, and when they're ready to bring them back, we'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? So it kind of gave us closure around those two characters, and we know that they're in a safe zone for the time being.
Right.
But
and it's a wild card because while it is a safe position to put these characters at, it's also such a mystique as to when they do come back, how, why, and when. It could be crazy.
and they're moving them again. So when like Tariq really, he just knows where they are now, but they're about to get moved again. So like you said, maybe they will be dumb enough to move them closer to, Tommy.
Yeah, they're moving to. They're in West Virginia. They're moving them to Indiana. That's what's happening.
Man.
So they are moving. So
man.
we'll see. Tamika, man, clutch. Ever since she got her promotion, she's looking better. She's glowing out here doing moves. So that's Sax, guys. Sax is always involved somehow when it comes to St. Patrick's.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I like Sax a lot more now. Like he went through a little transition phase where he was just an unlikable guy, but now he needs to do more because he's been looking like a sideliner. Like he just does what he's told. But I want to see him.
It's gonna be so much more coming up. Got to think about it now.
Yeah,
because now you got the conflict between him and Davis.
Yeah.
Because now he's like
killing it.
Oh, for sure. 100%. 100%. Listen, let me read this real quick. Yo, I got a game for y'all to play. Assign a character to the Power Universe to the 12 signs of Zodiac. That's going to take some time because I I am familiar with the popular ones and mine as I should, but some other folks, I don't know. And I couldn't even tell you who I would think is an Aquarius. That's I gotta take some time to think about. That is interesting.
Man.
Hey, Wandering Sage, when you get a moment, make sure you put that down in the comments after the live stream. I want to pin that one. I want to see what some other people think. That could be fun. But yeah, we'll talk about them deaths now. Mecca's gone, Zeke's gone, Lauren has been gone, I guess. Who's alive then? Who's alive?
Yeah, half the cast is like. I was kind of mad that Mecca died though, but Mecca would have said was a Leo. You know what I mean? Because I'm a Leo, and I just feel like Mecca would have been a Leo. He was kind of tough, but still soft. But I was kind of mad that they kind of ended because he was like, I felt like he was a real big obstacle, and his backstory was just getting very interesting, and they kind of just used him as a pawn to kind of web up this big web of drama that's going to follow Tariq. But I didn't like that ending. I didn't like that they took him off the board so quickly. But,
yeah, I thought it was an amazing character, amazing casting decision. Unfortunately, somebody like Mecca has to go because if Mecca's alive, he becomes a focal point next season. And I want to see the story transition a little bit different. What do we have next? So it is one of those type of things where like he's pretty much untouchable considering that he is maneuvering around with the complete assistance and authority of the federal government.
Yeah,
that's an issue going forward in terms of storytelling. So,
but he was still killing people. Like I was so confused about that because I'm like, all right, you work with the government, but yeah, you still allowed to go around slicing throats with no kind of like consequence. Like
man, he had an ironclad contract. He could do whatever he want. License to kill, man. He was connected. You know what I mean?
My man he's saying Lorenzo gonna kill Monet next season.
We'll see. Are you talking about Zeke? We can talk about Zeke right now.
Zeke.
So Zeke apparently got killed getting out of his Porsche, going into the 911. They did announce it on the news. Now, my question would be,
they announced the other death on the news. They announced Mecca. They announced Dante's death.
Okay, hold on.
She got a phone call. She got a phone call about Zeke.
That's right. You're right.
I'm telling you.
So you think he's alive? First of all,
I think he's still alive.
First of all, Daniel Bellamy has been so much joy to watch this season, from the social media stuff to just really emoting on a whole nother level and playing this kid who is basically not even only knows how to play sports. I don't know about you all, but in my era, there was this very good basketball player called named Derrick Rose, who was fantastic on the court, but God, they said he couldn't pass the SAT to save his life. And all I'm saying is that y'all thinking he's slow and all this other random stuff. I'm trying to tell you, some of these top athletes were not all wrapped around the head. So the fact that he made me kind of correlate that together, I was like, dude, he's killing it right now. Yeah. And I like the fact that he was young and he didn't know how to like really put together his feelings and all this other stuff, and making all these terrible decisions going into doing press, and then going back into the police station. He did so many terrible things, but fantastic performance throughout the season. To your point, I can buy into him being alive and Kevin Whitman using him to some point to take down the family, because there was no point of Kevin Whitman being introduced this season in a way that seemed like he was going to be a very critical and pivotal point, to not have him have that scene towards the end to make that mean more for later. Just like Sweetney. Sweetney came first episode, very big player in the game, as we know. And then we got him in the last one. Now we kind of see where that Tate and all that for Influence, the other Power show, whenever that's coming out, that should be Power Book 5 Influence. But we see where that's going to with in the future with Ott and all of them. But with Sweetney, I mean, with Whitman, you think like, well, why would they have that scene of him being curious about Zeke coming in and showing him that with Monet and whatnot, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, this turns Zeke against his family because he got shot. Same thing, Drew. Drew got shot and turned against Monet. So the fact that he got shot and he's gonna say, "Oh, who shot me? Who planned to shoot me?" Or whatever it may be, this is gonna make him completely cooperative with Kevin Whitman going forward, and that right there. We'll see, because now that makes them two focal characters that was kind of in hindsight a little bit, now being very critical parts going forward. Let me just throw a couple of comments up here real quick. My shirt, my Mario Kart shirt, that what you're looking at? Thank you. Tarika's a Virgo. Talk to me about it. I wouldn't know. Tariq definitely a Virgo.
Definitely. I kind of agree. I might agree with that.
Monet really loves Zeke, and I do think that's going to be the interesting part, is how much she loves him and how much he doesn't trust her for all of this. I mean, you think about this for a second.
I think what old boy said about Monet is going to kill Lorenzo is kind of right, because going back to Zeke being alive, he's not going to know who actually killed him. The only people that are going to know or try to kill him, the only people that will know is the people that will be like, they knew what was going on that night. So it might be a dead end for the police. It's going to be a dead end for Whitman, but the inside, they're going to know, wait, Zeke got shot where? When?
Yeah. And then the other thing, where's everybody at? I thought we were rolling. Where are you all at? So for some reason, you begged me to come here, and then you're not here. I mean, in layman's terms, that's a setup.
It looked like a setup. Yeah, it do look like a setup. It do look like a setup.
you beg me to come, and then you're not there, and the only people that knew was Mecca and you. Mecca's dead, so there's no way it could have been him. So make it make sense, So
I think Monet gonna take the fall for a lot of shit next season.
Hey, listen, I tell you what, while all of the evidence says yes here, I can see her not, because I think she's so loyal to Lorenzo that she wouldn't. But I do think what may happen is that she tells Drew this, and Drew ends up being the one telling Monet.
Yeah, because Drew will tell too. He'll tell.
Yeah, y'all going crazy with the Zodiac sign. Now, talk a little bit more about tonight's episode. What about Lauren? Now, we it's been announced, that she's been dead, car accidents. That's what the locals say. You buying this one?
I'm in the air with that. I think because I don't want it to be true, I'm trying to find out a reason to say it's not true. Because in order for it to be true that she didn't die, Effie would have had to have gone through some crazy setup to make it look like she got into a car accident.
If anybody can do it, it's her.
I know, but I mean, we don't know that Effie's like, she's that skilled to be like, because they got to do dental record stuff. Like, how are they going to just say, yeah, she died in a car accident with no physical evidence? So to me, it's like, that's not believable. But then again, I don't think Effie would do that to Tariq, because she knows how he feels about her. But then again, Effie's showing crazy. She wants Tariq to herself. So I'm on the fence. Until I see a body, I can't call it. I can't call it.
Got nothing to add there. That's exactly how I feel. Folks, I'm going to give you all a little bit of opportunity. Tell me your favorite character for season 2. Who was the character that you were most behind? And then on the other end of the coin, tell me who you disliked the most. And it's like, who was the character that you were just sick of? Listen,
I got mine.
it's very, very easy for me. I could not stand Jabari Reynolds, number 2, Carrie Milgram. Got on my nerves. I couldn't stand her.
Yo, once she was gone, I totally forgot about her.
she was just a mess. That's crazy that Kevin Whitman tried to take her out for a coffee and took her to a moor. And I felt bad for her. And now I don't. Very, very telling in that first day. And then my favorite character in this season, I don't know, man. I kind of want to say Councilman Tate. For bias reason, I want to say Sax. I also was kind of digging Jenny towards the end of this. And it's not to say it's not to say that because what they were doing I deemed ethical. I just thought that whenever they did something, I was like, all right, let's see what's up with that. But then that ultimately brings me back to Davis McClain, who was just the parlay master this entire season. Money in the front pocket, money in the back pocket, all sorts of different deals. My man was living good. So, it was a lot of characters I like. So I don't know. To give a short answer, I'm just going to pick none of them, and I'm going to pick Braden.
Braden the realist. He's a real soldier of the season. MVP.
Look at that.
Davis was my boy. Kane, believe it or not, I like the bad guys.
Okay,
Kane,
shoot your shot, girl.
I used to like Kane. I like Kane first season. But second season I didn't like him, and then the last episode made me really not like him because he's this tough guy, and then he just wanted to one up Reek, man. That's all he cared about. Like the fact that Reek killed his dad.
Nothing.
Like
one up and Reek. Like he was like his brother or something.
He's like obsessed with Tariq. Like it's like low-key obsessed. No, high-key. He's so obsessed with Tariq, bro. But I'm gonna go. My least favorite character in this season, other than Carrie, was Diane. Like I can't stand that girl. I can't. Like she gets on the screen and I'm like highly annoyed. Like I'm like I don't even want to look at her. Like she's just really, really getting on my nerves because she is riding so hard. There's daddy's little girl. She don't know what's going on. I thought she wanted to go to school. She didn't even focus on school. She worried about everybody else's business. Go to school. And then my favorite, I gotta go with the the main character. Tariq's my favorite character because I'm enjoying seeing his growth. I'm enjoying seeing his journey, and I cannot wait until him and Braden become Ghost and Tommy like, or if that's even gonna happen. I just want to see Tariq shine. I want to see him become, better than his dad. I should say. Yeah. I want to see him become better than his dad.
I believe your name is spelled said Zush. Can anybody explain why Dan is a snitch? She's young, and I got a chance to interview her, and she young, dumb, and in love. She said it out of her mouth, and that's what it is. And I think the audience, in majority, are adults, and we have a little bit of more common sense outside of our teenage days. And like everybody was earlier trying to fact check how old everybody is. But like we do know that everybody was between 16 and I think 23, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you were when you were that young? When you got your first car, when you got your first job, and when you wanted to prove that you deserve keys to the house? I mean, for my era, when you had to prove that like you deserve to have a cell phone, like you did idiotic things. Some of the smallest things, like lying to your parents, and it was completely detrimental. I mean, I remember going, taking the parents' car and getting a ticket and then don't telling them, and then the ticket doubles, and you just like, where did this come from? And you're like, well, it wasn't me. Clearly, it was me. They got the information, So in terms of her being a snitch, I think it's not because it's malice. I think she's just immature in the sense of not being able to read the room, and also, again, like I said, she's in this tug of war battle with her parents. So while on one end it looks like she's being a snitch, on the other end, she's loyal as hell. She's literally hid nothing from Lorenzo. Everything. Her dad, she told everything. She was more proactive of getting her dad out of jail than her entire family. That's a plus in my book. That's your pops. And everybody else, Drew, when it came down to what's his name? His boyfriend. Soon as that got involved, he was just like, oh, I forgot Poppy. And Kane, all he wanted was position and power. He didn't care who was handing him a bone. He just was wherever he could go. you know,
so unfocused when it comes to that dude, man.
at
So
all.
unfocused.
Period.
Like they're running a job and he's off trying to make amends. I'm like, well, you need to get your head in the game. And then he got
Exactly.
jumped on. You know what I mean? He's I don't know, man. I hear you putting up a hard case for Diana, but she's gonna still be my least favorite character. And so she showed me something. I can't rock with her, bro. She's just too much, man. She trying to set the whole family on fire at that dinner.
Yeah, man.
Like
Let's quickly talk about favorite moments this season. Moments that really stood out to you, or favorite moments, laughable moments, whatever it may be.
man.
I think. Let me see. Man, I think my favorite moment this season was just the whole Diana and Monet in the bathroom, and she Dark Vader death gripped her. Talk about little girl,
man.
what?
Yo. She
But
was ready to
also,
put her on the ground. She was ready.
for sure. But also the tea spilled into that. I think it was episode 8 when Diana aired out all the laundry, and Lorenzo was like, good moments, good fun moments. So yeah, those are two of my favorite moments or memorable moments of it.
One of mine was the twist with Dante when we found out that Zeke was really that was jaw dropping. I was like, whoa, what? Like this was like because I thought he was just I knew he was playing the family and just kind of like he's the connect. Nobody knew, but then when he dropped the fact that he was the father, and I kind of was like kind of playing with that in my head, and I'm like, nah, that's. But when it happened, I was like, wow, this guy is like really, and still, no one knew who he was at the point. Like he was so nice at playing the mind game that he kept them separated. Monet didn't even know. Kane didn't know. Like it was just crazy. So that whole twist, he had the most surprises during the whole season. Like even the whole snitch situation. I'm like, yo, this dude been like what? And then he's connected to Lobos. Like whoa, like
Yeah.
whoa.
And see, a lot of people thought that he was overseas in military. And that's what I kept wanting to tell people. Like, he's not Ghost Brother. Even before Courtney Kemp said it this week, he's not Ghost Brother because Ghost said his brother was in the military in terms of active service, working, et cetera, et cetera. This dude was over there basically running intel for them, but also being protected. He was not military. He was a civilian under the government's protection overseas because that's the safest place for him. So like it definitely wasn't going to work on that note. But yeah, I'm definitely going to miss Dante Mecca and the whole Nene whole shenanigans. Like that was something. Now, before we wrap up, let me get a couple of comments in there real quick. Yeah, the table talk with Diana, like I said, it was something. Oh, now Jack got one for Aquarius. Everybody's favorite girlfriend, Drew. Hey, go ahead. Look, y'all gonna look. I understand that Drew is playing a gay male in this, but like he's absolutely straight, and I'm going to give him his props for his acting and doing so because
he's killing it.
He's straight. He's engaged, I believe, and the fact that everybody's like being so harsh to him about that is kind of mind blowing because. I don't know. I came up from the era where hated it was a big thing on In Living Color, and look how successful those people are. It's just part of the business. So when you look at the Wayans brothers and what they've done for this business, I mean, I would not be surprised if we start to see him getting some more and more prominent roles just because people say it's like, oh, he's not afraid to take any type of role that we are able to give him. So, and the fact that people are buying into it so much, that means he's doing his damn job, So, but I will say, even for that, him portraying a gay male and how much he was in love with it, it was super convincing, and it was also still making him very naive, just like everybody else across the board, except for Kane, because Kane ain't had no bitches. So Kane was
everything he was trying to reach was just not. They weren't trying to hear it. They're like, keep it moving, bro. Keep it moving. Bobby Brown getting no love.
Yeah, that's true. And gotta learn how to fight. I do love that the fact that Woody did break out Bobby Brown that one episode and tried to give a little bit of vocals. I was just like, yo, there he is. Finally, Bobby Brown here. Now, let's talk about season 3. We'll wrap it up on this. Predictions on what you think is going to happen. What do we want to see? Potential new characters, whatever it may be. And I will quickly start by saying that the no longer detective, but I don't know what her position is now, but Blanca Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Now listen,
DEA. She's DEA now.
Yeah, DEA. Yeah. And what was Angela's position before?
She was assistant district attorney or something like that. 80,
oh yeah.
80. I forget what they used to say her name 1,000 times. They could have turned it into a drinking game the way they say her name. Like look, they said.
Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just saying, like they used to drop her name with the title every episode. Yeah. Every episode.
She got a raise, she got a promotion, and regardless of knowing the organization structure, because I do know one thing, that her CI was Mecca, who knew everything.
Yeah,
so if Mecca was phoning home to her all this stuff, how much do you think she knows? And how much did she not only knew from Mecca, but knew from the St. Patrick's, that her being back essentially is going to make her a very scary player going forward. She's not chasing for clues like she was in the original Power series. She has the clues. She has the answers. She just has to execute. And that right there is going to be dangerous. I'm curious to know if she had Mecca, who else was a CI for her? Who else may be under her tutelage that may have to be deployed to pick up where he left off at? I mean, they didn't know he was in New York, granted. I get that. Mm-hmm. But now, would it be important to have somebody to figure out what all Mecca was up to, why he was here, and what else is going on with the Tejadas? You know, Mecca was obviously involved with them. You know, it's going to be a bunch of like, well, how deep were they together? You know, what was he telling them and so on? So I think Blanca is going to really change everything next season. And I don't know, maybe she's going to be our focal baddie. You know, maybe she turns into Angela in the form of how much people hated Angela. Maybe she assumes that role, you know. And
I hated her before. I hated her when she first came into the game. She was like so overzealous, man. She wanted to take down everybody. I'm like, oh man, she's asking a million questions. She wanted to take Angela down. She wanted to take Ghosty. Like she was just so gung ho about trying to just crack the case. Yeah. So now she got a little power. She, like you said, she's definitely going to be a problem.
Hey, and Wandering Sage, I know you're joking. And honestly, because I appreciate all of you all and the fans that come here each and every week. Honestly, a lot of my frustration comes from, which I'm no longer a part of, the Facebook groups, because there's so much ignorance in it that it's just like, you all don't watch the show. You all just get in here and troll and just like try to devalue all of these people hard work for the sake of a joke. And it's silly to me. We all love this show. We all continuously going to get more power, more and more and more. There's other fantastic content creators that's doing it. The casts are always available on Instagram or Twitter and to communicate with them. And it sucks that like, and even Michael said that like people were sending threats and stuff like that. It sucks that people go that far and y'all supposed to be fans. I don't get that, you know. So that's why I just get mad about that stuff.
I always look at it like if you can make me hate your character, you're doing a damn good job. You're doing a really good job. Because Angela, for a while, like you said, like I wasn't feeling like you like her in the beginning, and then by the end of it all, you're like, I'm glad she's gone. You know what I mean? And that's how I felt about Carrie. Like I was like, yo, when she got her, I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God she's gone. You know what I mean? But nah, I think Tariq's gonna be wrapped up in some more nonsense, man, for the next season.
And ain't looking good.
Yeah, man. Like, why you had to be on camera at that place? And this one time, he's actually innocent. Like, he ain't had nothing to do with that. He just showed up with the bag, and now he's gonna take the rap for it. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be bad for Monet, and I think it's gonna be bad for Tariq. And we know Tariq ain't going nowhere. So, if it had to be one or the other, yeah. Yeah.
Let me get a few comments in there. I just want to see Monet get a better wig. You better not tell the queen that. She's performing at the Super Bowl. you better stop.
I like that one.
I hear people saying it. The question for me is, what would have Effie got involved with in order to get to that point? Now, we're not talking about in terms of like, I mean, we would have known this like at some point. The way how they had reservations for Tariq being in school, I don't think Effie would have gotten to a prestigious school. In that matter, she has something behind him, but who knows? I'm not really buying that, but that would be crazy if that happened.
And then
And
that
everybody
would
else, go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say
if she was, that would play into Lauren not really being dead.
That's what I was gonna say. People were saying so. Monet will kill Lorenzo for killing Zeke. I mean, I can put some money down that one. Effie is loyal to Tariq. Absolutely. Drew can fight. Drew is the best killer of the kids.
Yeah.
by far. Tariq won't trust Effie. That is what I think the realization that she may be having, that if she didn't do what she did, or maybe she did what she did, this may be the result. So absolutely a safe bet there. Brayden and Tariq will evolve next season. Absolutely. And I want to see them stay together. That's my biggest wish, is that them two stay together. I want to see them rise and being brothers and just tackling on everything that comes with Power Book Ghost. One of them go somehow, some way, I would be crushed. Like the continuity of the show is gone for me if that happens. I think Kane may take the fall because Mecca took his fingerprint. Kane has to take a fall somewhere. I cannot believe he has not been arrested yet.
I know, but he's not the soldier that they made us believe in the beginning, though. Like before, he was like, I was a little worried about him, but lately he's been kind of falling back. He don't even know what's going on around him. Like they showed in the last episode, it's like they're making moves, and he's like, "What? What am I supposed to do?" Like, I don't know, man.
Hothead for sure. Could Effie be Mecca's daughter? No. Because Mecca was a person who was very open about his thoughts, his strategies, and he was very, very upfront about everything. If he decided okay. I mean, he aired out all his laundry to Tariq, essentially. So why wouldn't he say, Tariq, you're my nephew? Or, or any of that source. He wasn't a person to be shy of secrets. As much as he came out saying, I'm Zeke's dad, he would have clearly said, and that's your sister. It would have did him no harm by saying, this is what it is, And also, he would have been equally passionate to getting Zeke as he would have been, getting Effie, he's getting Zeke. Why would you come back to New York and both your kids there, and all of a sudden you just only want one? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, but that's that. Now, last thing, then we're gonna wrap up for the night. Let's really fantasy book here, folks. Y'all need y'all go crazy in the chat for this one. I need y'all go nuts, because this is what we do here. Where's going to be the connection between Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Book 4 Force? What is the connection here? Where do we see the two of them? Do we think we'll see Diana at St. John's? Yes. I just want to say yes. I think this is key. This is key. Yes, we will. But where do we see the connection between the two shows? Now, here's my thing.
Go.
The Flynn family has things on lock. Their organization, and they don't quite tell us what. But for me, I think they're running ports. I think they are on top of what's coming in and what's coming out, because they have clearly said that they're not invested into the cocaine. That's dangerous for them. That's bad for business for them. They're not getting into that. But they're established. They're powerful. Everyone knows who they are. And they're on top of Chicago, period, across. Yep. They're not playing street corner boy stuff. I think the Flynn family is a very established family in business that other folks in other cities know. I think where Tommy's Connect, I keep forgetting his name. It's like Rodovin, I think it is, something like that. That's in California. I think there's going to be a call, and when he mentions the Flynn, I think he's going to say they know each other. But so somehow, some way, I think there's going to be a connect. But more importantly,
he kind of cut him off though, too. Though, go ahead, I'm listening.
But I did see that he will be a recurring character, so that means we will see him outside of this phone call. Yeah, he cut him off and said, "I'm staying here," but I think he's going to end up coming at some point. But the biggest thing, and I said this in my interview with Tommy, and he definitely brushed it off, but I'm still going back to it. I think the idea that they went after Tommy for being Boston, and whether they were trying to correlate him to being Irish or whatever it may be, and Tommy did say like it's a stereotypical thing, and that's kind of what people do. I honestly think that there may be some connection, and this is rooted in history amongst the Italians and the what are the Flynn's slipping out of my head right now?
The Irish.
Yeah, there's a lot of conflict, especially in the city of New York back in the day, that makes me think that there may be some type of connection. And because of that conflict in history, that's why one went to Boston and one went to Chicago. If they're trying to tell some story and they're trying to have some factual content behind it, it could be a thing. I'm just curious to know if that may play a part where they end up realizing that, oh, he's a Teresi. Oh, this is really, really bad. You know, that's his bloodline. This is really bad. We've had a run-in with them in the past. We knew how connected to the Teresis were. So I'm just fantasy booking. We only got one episode of Force, but I'm thinking that the Flynn is as prominent and powerful they making them and established. I think they definitely know the top people. And I have to say one other thing. Wow. I also feel like Mecca knew who they were too.
Oh, I think Mecca knew everybody. He was snitching on the world.
I think Mecca knew who they were.
And
funny thing is, when Davis made the call to Tariq, he didn't name every family. He said, oh, it's a long list of names, and they just stopped it. They didn't name anything. They only brought up Lobos when Sachs mentioned it. But I think that Mecca knew all the top players, and I think that's important because then that's how we established the hierarchy of who were the big people that was running something. The Serbs keeps coming up. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
And I think the Flynn's conversation, the names are going to be in this conversation, so we'll see. All right, that's my fantasy book in there. What you got?
Oh man, I mean, you exceeded anything that I was even thinking because I'm still on episode 1. Like I loved episode 1, and I'm so curious to know where it's gonna go. I have absolutely no idea where this is gonna go. As far as I don't even think we're gonna see connections yet. That's where I'm at. I don't think we're gonna see a connection from Power Book 2 to Force just yet. Maybe later on, maybe season 2, but I don't think we're going to see any connections yet. They're going to establish Tommy's universe first, and then we'll start peeling the orange or the onion, as they say, and figuring out where the connections come in. But I'm here for it. I loved Force. I thought that was a perfect premiere episode for Tommy's character, and I'm glad that he's still Tommy and still coming in this game like he don't give a nothing. He don't care about nothing. And the way he finessed them just to meet the connect and meet who was in charge and kind of like, he kind of left it open like you might owe me a favor because I saved your son kind of vibe. Yeah. The way it was beautiful the way he finessed that. Like ballsy, but beautiful the way he finessed it.
John, I don't know where you got that they're Scottish. I absolutely looked this up, and they are they're Irish, and the Teresis are Italian. So that is something I absolutely looked up. Absolutely went to fact check that really quick. But is Tommy's dad's wife dead? I cannot remember.
She was sick, but
she was sick. She was sick. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
She never died though.
They never
showed her die.
You're right. You're right. All right, we're gonna read off these comments, then we're gonna roll out, man. We're gonna roll out. Cool. We're gonna decompress so we can take in all of this in, man. I think Blanca is the connection between Ghost and Force. Could be.
Maybe she'll pop up.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
David's brother getting out. This is going to be the big story arc going next season. What happens with that? And I'm all for Red and Meth having more scenes together. So let's do it. I'm really interested in Diamond's. Absolutely. Force theme song is cold. Yeah.
All the theme songs are dope.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yep.
Raising King is the best though, yeah.
The actor playing Flynn is Scottish. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean that the actor playing Flynn is Flynn's are a family. So which one are you talking about?
Probably talking about the dads. You think about the boss.
Yeah, Tommy Flanagan. I mean, even if he is, that doesn't mean he can't play another part. I mean, geez. We don't want to
shout out to Boston Girl, man. That's my backyard.
But the Flynn family are being portrayed as Irish, and Tom and the Terresis are Italian, and this goes back into the Irish mob versus the Italian mafia back in the New York back in the 80s. So look, I did my research because I got a chance to interview all of them, so I wanted to make sure I came correct with that, so
that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how I gotta do it, man. I'm not just gonna come out here and be like, oh, I love you guys. So what made you want to play Tommy? Like, I'm not one of those.
Will your character be coming back?
Yeah, folk, man. I'm telling you, man. Some folks, man. No, because you asked why Drew. Oh, okay. Thank you, Boston Girl. Man, look, I do appreciate you, love. And I hopefully none of my remarks come back as being harsh or anything. I truly do appreciate the conversation. And you all keeping the table spinning around here and keeping me honest. And I'd like to say this too, for anybody who's been checking out our reviews, me and Lucas, we watch the show and then we go out there and we go raw. And I mean, to the point that we don't fact check. We don't try to be right about everything. So like, hold us accountable. If there's something we ain't say right, jump in the comments and say like, oh, you forgot about this, or you didn't get that right. Obviously be nice, but like, I don't try to be Mr. Perfect in these, because if I was, then what's the point of y'all coming through saying anything? If I just had all the right answers, it's a conversation amongst us to you all. So we definitely don't try to make mistakes, but if we do make mistakes, come through. Let us know. Like, this is where you did not get that right. And I will say thank you very much. The interviews are available now on the YouTube. There's 5 interviews available now. There's 2 more coming, as I said. There's going to be more than 2. There was particular characters that it's hard to talk to them when you can't talk about where their characters may go without spoiling it. As we know, Tommy has a brother, and how do you talk about that before the show airs? So there will be some more of that, and they were all a good time. The power cast is always fun. But Clip, man, we got to get up out of here really quickly. Let folks know where they can find you.
Listen, man, everybody knows you can find me on every platform at KlepCX. That's KlepCX on every platform. I keep it simple so that I can easily be found. That's how we do it.
All right.
And also check out, for more movie news and television news, pop culture, check out my website, wearecritics.com. That's We Are Critics with an X. That's where the CX comes from. Wearecritics.com. And I definitely have my own YouTube channel, which you can see at the bottom in the corner there, KlepCX FM. I'm on YouTube. I do interviews. I do movie reviews, just like my man right here. So make sure you guys follow me and check me out.
My guy, it's a pleasure to have you here.
I'm glad I'm here.
And folks, definitely give him a check him out. Give him a follow. Do all that, shenanigans, subscribe and all that other stuff. My brother, he does amazing work, and obviously we'll be collabing a lot more. Pandemic has been a little bit hindering, but it's okay. We figured it out, so we back at it this year. So
yeah, we're gonna be back out in the field.
Yes, that's right. Soldiers out here.
Yeah, man.
But yes, folks, thank y'all so much for tuning in for tonight, and we'll see you around very soon. Episode 2 of Force next week. Can you believe it?
Already.
It's been a pleasure having y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Big old bell.